I'm team Trey Smith, and I
Mhm.
unapologetically I think he should be the starter week one. I think they should find out what they have in him. I like Kyle Long quite a bit, and I wish he wouldn't have got hurt because then he could be the guy. I don't know about LDT personally. He's working his way back from the injury, or I guess he was working his way back from the injury, then opted out because of the COVID season. Did much more important work, did a great job at it. Now coming back, it didn't make sense for the Chiefs to cut or trade him because he had that no trade clause. The dead cap didn't make much sense. Um, Andrew Riley, I guess, is in that picture too, but the right guard spot could end up being a strength of the team by the end of the year just because of how deep it is. And I think Trey Smith, with the health concerns firmly in the rear view, I think that kind of got over exaggerated a little bit throughout the draft process. Obviously, the teams knew better than we did, and he did slide quite a bit, but that seems to be behind him. Good athlete, just a mauler. He says all the right things. He mentioned that he just is kind of a goon, likes inflicting punishment upon people. I'm really confident in the right guard spot, regardless of kind of who ends up, as long as it's Long or Trey Smith.
Hmm. Yeah, some people want to put Laurent Duvernay-Tardif there, and that is fine. But I do think that that era might be past us. I am also interested in either Kyle Long or Trey Smith. Kyle Long, if he is not available for the start of the season, I would give it to Trey Smith. I think they might give it to Duvernay-Tardif though. They might not start a what was he, fifth rounder, sixth rounder on day
Mm,
one.
yeah.
But Trey Smith, yeah, everything he says, every time I see a quote from him, I love it. Everything about Trey Smith, I am very interested in, and he did have multiple productive years at Tennessee. So I'm a fan. I'm intrigued. I would love to see Trey Smith in his first season, in his rookie season. But if that doesn't happen, I do think Kyle Long could be a good option. We'll see how early he can come back. I don't know if he's missing training camp or all of training camp or part of training camp from the knee injury, but I think Kyle Long is still a good option. Multi-time Pro Bowler or All Pro. He's had a good career, and I think he's still in a position to have a good career for and a good time in Kansas City. So I would like to see Long start. If not, then Trey Smith, I am in. I'm on board with it.
Yeah, and it's a testament to the depth at that position that if LDT is the guy, we're just like, that's fine. Like no one's like going with pitchforks and flames like over to Arrowhead Stadium or
Yeah.
anything like that. They're perfectly fine with it, and that just shows they did some work this offseason. They did a ton of work,
Yeah.
and it's just remarkable. I can't believe the job that Veach did, even if it blows up in his face and like Brown turns out to suck and Tooney gets hurt, like stuff that you can't really foresee happening.
Those are like the starting signs of the apocalypse. I don't
Yes,
believe we're going to see that come about.
that the 2020 like health crisis along the offensive line, that's a once in a generation type thing. Like lines can get banged up. I don't think it could ever get that worse again. And I'm knocking on the nearest piece of wood here, but it was just so bad. And the depth wasn't great. So I think they're better prepared now than they were last season for that. But anytime your starters go down in that fashion, you can only withstand it so much.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine if we tried to start a third string offensive lineman last year? We probably did once or twice, but regardless, third string offensive line, we couldn't have possibly been happy at any position for that last year. Or this year, yeah, I think if even if we started like Allegretti. At either center or guard wouldn't be the end of the world. If we started Andrew Wiley, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but it wouldn't be good. If we started Duvernay-Tardif, who we both think is the third best right guard on this team, we'd still be happy with it. He's a guy who's been starting for years for us at right guard. So these options we have, the depth is unbelievable. And it is definitely a drastic improvement, both from the starting lineup and the depth for offensive line this season. And you have to imagine that it is going to prevent a disaster from what we saw last year.